Close your eyes, palms together. Seek the blessing from all your gurus, God and goddesses. Feel your button, slowly open your eyes. Okay. Uh, Today we're going to start with a new graph. Before that, before entering into that session, we'll see about the daily gocharas. Suppose in case if my voice was breaking, my slide was not visible enough, please tell me immediately. There is a high chances because the network is not that much good today. Okay. Uh, Today's gocharam, as we see the yearly grahas, Rahu in the Mithuna, Ketu in the Kanya, Guru in the Rishabha, Mangal in the Karaka, Chandra in the Simmarasi, and Surya and the Buddhan in the Vrakshaka, Shukra in the Dhanush, Shani in the Kumbha. So today, the people who have the Charalagna, you remember the Charalagna, right? What are the Charalagnas?
Mesha, Simha,
Mesha, Mesha,
oh sorry, Mesha, Kataka,
Kataka,
then Tula,
Tula,
Makara.
Makara. So these four Chararasi, right? When the Chandra, particularly Chararasi, have the 11th as the Bhatakasthana, correct? Yes or no? Charalagna have the 11th house as the Bhatakasthana. So for the Charalagna, the Simha becomes the Bhatakasthana. For which Lagna? Among the Chararasis, there is only one Charalagna which have the Bhatakasthana as the Simha. Any idea?
Tula Rashi.
Tula Lagna. When Tula Lagna having the Bhatakasthana as the Simha Rasi. So the people who are in the Tula Lagna, now the Chandra was on the top of your Bhatakasthana. Find how your emotions was going. Are you feeling good or are you feeling bad? How your emotions? Check that well. And also the people who are having the Simha Lagna, Simha Rasi, or the Simha Rasi as the 8th house or the 6th house. Find out how your emotions was going, how it was, is your emotions was under your control, or you are neutral, or you are overwhelming with any other thing, or you are here and there. Find out how your emotions. This is the best day for doing. Okay, let's getting into the Panchang. Today's Panchanga Sthiti is the Navami, followed by the Dashami, Nakshatra Purva Palguni, followed by the Uttra Palguni, Yoga by Triti, and followed by the Vishkumbha. Karana, Taitale, Garaja, and the Vanija. Weekday, Ravivara. Paksha is the Krishna Paksha. Okay, let's getting into the steering time. Okay, you have the 2.5 minutes. I don't want to ready. I thought to skip this one because we already started in a delay. I don't want to do that. Let's have the 2.5 minutes of the steering. Once we're done that, we'll move into the next point, next part of the class. Okay. Your time starts now. More seconds. Okay then. Okay, let's move on into the I skipped the revision today. We'll do the revision for in the next week itself. Let's moving into the class. Today's class is about the Mercury. Today's class we are going to start with the Mercury Graha. So we are going to understand when the Mercury Buddha was in the first house to the 12th house, how the Mercury will behave. We are going to combine with the first to 12 houses when the Mercury was placed.
ಅವ್ರು ಹಿಡ್ಕೊಂಡು ಹೋಗ್ಬಿಡ್ತಾರ ಹಂಗೆಲ್ಲ ಮಾಡಿದ್ರೆ ಸೈಲೆಂಟ್ ಆಗಿರ್ಬೇಕು ನೋಡಿ ಬಂದ್ರು ಅವರು.
Anita, can you please mute everyone?
Yeah, I did that. Yeah, thank you. Okay. Now we are going to understand how the Mercury was placed in the first house, second house, third house, till the 12th house. Okay. Let's first understand what the Mercury Sanskrit name Buddha. In Tamil we call it as a Budan, and the Kalami is also in the big days is also called as the Budan Kilami in Tamil. In different languages, the Wednesday was represented in a different form. Budhvar, if it was in a Hindi, but considered the Budan and the Wednesday are interrelated in every way. Why? When the Wednesday was started, the first prominent waves, the first prominent rays, which is coming from the Mercury Graha itself, Buddha Graha, rays will be very much prominent in the Wednesdays. If you want to do any kind of the puja related with the Mercury, the Wednesday is the best day because that is the one best day when the first rays. What is the meaning of the first day? When your day was started on that day, among Navagrahas, one graha will be prominent. That for the Wednesday, it goes to Buddha. Okay. What is representation? It represents about your intelligence. It represents about your trade, commerce, all kind of the finance related thing, your business related thing, your friends, your love, your education. Everything will be comes under, especially the bank and finances. Everything comes under in the Mercury stuff. And you can say it is a Mercury's domain, particularly your education. Any kind of the intellectual thing comes under the Mercury. Okay, let's getting into the little bit know about this part of the slide. We already studied a lot, but we have to revise this part about the Mercury one more time. Anybody knows what are the two houses for Buddhan?
Mithuna and Kanya.
Mithuna and the Kanya. Okay, the Mithuna and the Kanya is interestingly, these both are in having one similarity. What is that? Excluding the part of the owner of the house is the Buddhan. It's also having one more similarity. Anybody? Okay, I will
Dual nature.
Dual nature. Fantastic. That is the biggest similarity between these two rashis. Mithuna and the Kanya is the Ubhaya Rashis. So what is that meaning? It won't be like stubborn like the Sthira Rasi. It won't be flow like a Sara Rasi. It was in the middle. It won't be go fast. It won't be in the steady. It will be flow, but not too much fast. It won't be steady. It won't be stay there for long. It's in the flowable thing. Okay, let's coming into the body parts. Mithuna is the arms, Kanya is the waist area, and the Mithuna characteristics towards the male quality, and the Kanya Rasi is towards the female quality. And the Mithuna is the air element, and Kanya is the earth element. Okay, here comes the interesting point. The Buddhan favorite part when you have the two houses, but Buddhan most favored towards the Kanya Rasi. In the Kanya Rasi, exaltation point is at the 15 degree. Moola Trikona is also Kanya Rasi. And the Moola Trikona exactly it's happening at the 15 degree to 30 degree. So the exaltation point is also 15 degree. So when the Kanya Rasi is an exaltation point, where it will be the debilitation point? Obviously it is in the Meena Rasi. Same debilitation point is the 15 degree. Then we have to understand about the debilitation Rasis also. Meena Rashi, Guru is the owner, water is the element. When it comes into the body part, it was the feet. Debilitation point is the 15 degree. Okay, let's a little more about the Mercury. We already know who owns the Mercury, Mithuna, and the Kanya. Mula Trikona is the Kanya 15 to 13 degree, 15 to 20 degree. It's my mistake. Okay, let's getting into the gender. Okay, here is an interesting thing. Mercury is the young prince or princess. It's like they are towards the puberty, or they that's why they called as NH. You don't need to consider it as they're not as a neuter gender, but they have the quality of the male and the female. You may consider like that. Aspect is having only one aspect, that is the seventh. Direction is the north. Directional strength is the east. Malefic or benefic, here is again interesting. It won't be malefic, it won't be benefic, it is in between. Why? When it was combined with the graha, if it was alone, when the Mercury was alone, none of the graha was conjunction or associated with the, and then the Mercury is a good graha, it is a benefic graha. When the Mercury was combined with any of the malefic graha, then it also becomes the malefic. Why this kind of the nature is coming, we'll tell you that later. Mercury, when combined with the benefic graha, then it becomes a more benefic. Why this kind of thing? Because when the Mercury is the young prince or young princess, it was a child who can be shaped up into a different, it's a kind of a clay, you can shape up into any form. When it was combined with the malefic graha, it behaves also malefic. When combined with the benefic, it also behaves as a benefic. So that's why it's both malefic as well as the benefic. Then comes into the Adi Devata. Adi Devata is the Vishnu and Pratyadi Devata is the Narayan. And you may ask the question, okay, it's all both represents the Vishnu. What is the difference? Okay, here is interesting thing. Reaching the Adidevata energy is little bit easier when it comes into reaching the Pratyadi Devata. It means the frequency when you are reaching one energy level, one dimension to another dimension, the transcending is much more easy when you reach the Vishnu's energy. It's a little bit higher level when you have to reach the Narayana's energy. That's why when you reach the Vishnu's energy means you have 100% of a guarantee you can reach the Narayana's energy. That's why the Vishnu worship is the must when you have the good Mercury in your when you want to increase the auspiciousness of your Mercury. Okay, the Devata is the Vishnu, Pratyadi Devata is the Narayana. Elements is the Prithvi. Dosha is the all three doshas combined together. So here is the thing. When Mercury will represent a little bit different from other grahas. Some grahas will comes into one malefic or benefic, but Buddha represents in between. Depends upon where it was associated, and it's also become not particularly one dosha, Vata, Pitta, Kapha, not one or the combination. It combined of all together, all three doshas combined together. Okay. Maturity age is the 32 years, and the dhatu is the skin. Grains is the green gram. You may see the people, they donate the green grams to the temple or green grams to any of the places which they want to donate. When they are trying to donate, it is because of the Mercury. They want to do or please the Mercury in every way they want. Okay, let's see about little bit more about the Mercury. Marana Karakasthana for the Mercury is the fourth house. Okay, when the Mercury was in the fourth house, that becomes the Marana Karakasthana for the Mercury. Consider you have the Mercury in the fourth house. It won't be do any good for you. It will give you number of obstacles in you. You feel like you studied everything. Consider you have the fourth house Mercury. You may read the entire book, but end of the day, somebody asks you, okay, give me the summary of that book. You may not able to utter a single word, but you spend days and nights to read that book. Okay, then you studied in the schools and colleges. You feel like you studied well, but when it comes into an exam, you may not able to attend that. Okay, let's come into the work. When you grown up and you were an adult still, you went into the work or you started a business and you have to handle the money. You have to do number of the mistakes to know how the money was working, how you have to withhold of the money. You have to you have to learn that way in very hard. Some people will come there in their blood itself, but for the people who are having the fourth house Mercury, it's not in their blood. They have to find a hard way to learn that. Okay, that's why that is called the Marana Karakasthana. It doesn't mean you are going into debt. It's not going to give you the death. That's an easiest way, right? If you're having the fourth house in the Mercury and if you find an death in easiest way, that's beautiful. But it's not going to give you that. Marana Karakasthana means it won't give you the obstacle, it will give you the struggle in such a way you feel that that kind of the pain in that particular Rashi or particular whatever the particular house which is going to give you will struggle, you will have faced number of the obstacles, then you will find an answer. Okay, that's why the Marana Karakasthana. The combustion is when the Mercury was moving forward, it is 0 to 14 degrees. When it was retrograde, the degree is 0 to 12 degrees. You understand, right? What is combustion? Anybody?
Close to sun.
Close to sun. There are the there are the two other grahas which definitely comes together very, very close to the sun. Which is the other graha? One is Mercury, we already understand.
Venus.
Venus. These three are combined most of the time, not in the most of the time, in every Jataka, if you see, the Sun, Mercury, and the Venus go together. Go together means it won't be go like 1, 2, 3. It will be in the 1, 2, 3 forward. It will be in the 1, 2, 3 backward. Within this only, they will move together. The threes always move together. Okay, let's getting into the Vishuddhi. Why I make it is the Vishuddhi. When it comes into the spiritual part, when you are doing the meditation, when you when you are know about your if I guess you people don't know about what is the Muladhara, what is the Swadhisthana, Manipura, right? If you didn't understand, okay, I will give you the simple idea about that. Your body, the physical body, which is connected with another layer of your body, which you are not able to see because we didn't practice that kind of the sadhana. We didn't live in that kind of the environment, not in that energy level to see that kind of the body around us. So we may not able to feel that. So that's why we are not able to see that as well. Our own body, we are not able to feel that as well. Suppose if you do that kind of the sadhana, you able to understand, you can able to see what is how much your body was extended. Okay, let's come back to here. So when that Panchakosha was connected with your physical body, that is the Annamaya Kosha, it was through this nadis. The rishis and munis call it as the nadis. When number of the nadis joined together, it formed one kind of the junction, kind of all major nadis combined together. There is a different story together. Number of the nadis, the small nadis joined together, they form the small circles. How you can see that also, you can feel that also. In your fingertips, there are the small chakras will be formed. How you can easily identify? When you rub your hands, or if you move your hands closely and away, if the people are practicing very much into the meditation or any kind of the chanting practice, when they move their hand in and out, they feel that some kind of energy was they're pulling into it or pulling away from that. They can feel that. That magnetic energy, it is the divine force. Okay, where it is emitting from most small chakras. Okay, I don't want to deviate into the different topic. Let's come back to here. Why I want to give this introduction? Because of the Vishuddhi. Okay, that kind of the small chakras, small nadis combined together to form small chakras. The major nadis, when they're combined together, they form the biggest junction that forms into the central part of your body. So that chakra junction starts from your base of your body, that is called the Muladhara, and above that it was the Swadhisthana. Your navel is the Manipuraka. The mid part of your chest is called Anataka. Okay, now coming into the topic of the discussion, that is the Vishuddhi. Exactly is the throat area. When all the things combined together on your joint, make a junction in your throat, that forms the Vishuddhi. Okay, why Vishuddhi combined with the Mercury? Okay, here is an interesting thing. Your Agna was combined with the Idanadi, Pingalanadi, followed by the Sushumna. But when it is combined together, it needs the energy of the Sun, Moon, and the Guru. Okay, if your Sun's energy, Moon's energy, Guru's energy formed together, definitely you will feel the Agna was revolving well, the Agna chakra performing very well. Okay, that's about the Agna, leave that about now. Now understand about the Vishuddhi. Entirely the Vishuddhi is performed by the Mercury, completely by the Buddha only. When you have, how you can understand that? If your Mercury was well performed in your Jataka, that means your Mercury's energy was high, Mercury's energy was auspicious, is highly in your Jataka, then your speaking level is, you can understand, you can estimate your how much you will speak, how much your the strongness in your speech, whatever you utter from your mouth, how it will reach others. If it was, it isn't just bluffing, or you can give the wisdom of the speech. It also determined by the Mercury's energy. If your Vishuddhi was not good, the Vishuddhi was not balanced, whatever it reflects in a different way. You may not able to speak. Your mind and speech may not combine together. You may stammering in your speech. You may not able to utter whatever you desire. Whatever you desire to speak, it may not come out from your mouth. Sometimes you speak uh, that is not relevant in the environment. There is some kind of a situation may occur to you. You speak unnecessarily, or you speak not necessary. That moment or that situation, that word, whatever you uttered, is not appropriate, or it may not necessary. You may be do like that when your Vishuddhi was not working properly, or when the Vishuddhi was not in a balanced condition. You may do all kind of the mistakes when you are speaking. Consider a situation, your Vishuddhi was well balanced, and it was working very well. Okay, that means your Mercury's energy in your body was really good. Okay, that time what will happen? You know where to speak, how to speak, when to stop. And okay, there is also one important thing. When your Vishuddhi energy was not good, means you may speak, but you know how to end. But when when the Buddha's energy was balanced, you know when to stop, where to stop, how to speak. Your communication level is unparalleled. No one can touch you. That kind of the communication will come when your Mercury's energy was too high. Okay. This is out of the topic, I know, but this you have to understand when the Vishuddhi, how much the powerful the Vishuddhi's energy is. If your Mercury was balanced, then the Vishuddhi never come back to normal. Okay, then one very simple thing. Okay, then one question will come. Okay, somewhat I feel my Mercury's energy was not good. How I can increase that? Very simple thing. Everybody knows about this Hare Krishna Mahamantra, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama Hare. This is the one Mahamantra. If you feel like, okay, whatever I intend to speak, it is not coming out of my mouth, but I am speaking continuously, whatever it is. Chant this mantra how much time your mind wants, and the Vishuddhi chakra balanced on its own. This is the chanting thing. Suppose if you are into meditation, okay, go and do the meditation, which you can enhance the Vishuddhi chakra. If you are into a yoga practice, there is a different kind of the asanas altogether, a different kind of the kriyas will come, where you can increase your throat chakra itself. But whatever it is, when one thing was imbalanced, means your entire body going to imbalance. So you have to work out for your entire body. Okay, that's about the Mercury. It's getting into the more thing about the Mercury. Mercury's friend is the Sun and the Venus. Okay, here you have to remember one thing. Friend is the Sun and Venus only for the Mercury. For the Newton, Mars, Jupiter, and the Saturn. But here, interestingly, enemy is Moon. You should not forget about this combination. Mercury enemy is Moon. Okay, let's coming into the nakshatra. Nakshatra 9. There are the three nakshatras for the Mercury. One is 9th Aslesha, 18th Jeshta, 27th Repati, and the Buddhan is the owner. Dasha period is the 17 years. Okay, for this Mercury only, the three nakshatras numbers you can easily remember. 9 multiply into 2, 18, 18 in 9 into 3 is 27. So the numbers can be easily remembered for the Mercury only, because the division of the 9 will help you to understand Aslesha, Jeshta and the Revati. Okay, this is about this Mercury. Quick description about the Mercury. Any doubt until here? No, I feel that there is no. Okay, let's coming into the Mercury. Mercury in the first house. Mercury in the first house, it's very much auspicious. Why? Because it's having a Digbala. There was also one more Graha, which is having a Digbala in the first house. Anybody remember?
Jupiter.
Jupiter. Let's coming into the Mercury one. So Mercury in the first house is the Digbala. Digbala means it's in the direction, the Mercury's energy, the Mercury auspiciousness was highly increased. Okay, now coming into that, let's know about the first house. First house in the Jataka. First house represents your personality, exactly about the Jataka, how the Jataka looks like, what kind of the personality, exactly describe about the self. Okay, that is the first house. Let's see about the Mercury. What is the Mercury? Okay, before that, I missed one part. Okay, there are a few things you have to know about the Mercury before that. Mercury represents all kind of the playground area, wherever the kids was playing. When comes into the Mercury area, in all kind of the playground. If you see the playground with, especially the peoples will build in the playground, especially for the kids area. That's exactly about the Mercury's energy. All kind of the education belongs when you are going to teach, when you are spreading your wisdom, that is totally different. But when you are in a studying level, when you are educating yourself, that is the Mercury's energy. So the Mercury is the young prince, like kind of he or she try to learn new things, and he or she want experimenting himself. This is the education point of view. And Mercury is also represents your friends. Mercury is also represents your lover, education, your business, any kind of the banking stuff. Everything comes under the Mercury. Particularly any kind of the documents. If you have any kind of the problems in your documents or signing, I have the problem in there is a signature that is not matched with my document. I have my document, everything was correct, but there was one mistake in this document. I have this document is having this problem, that problem, whatever you see, that's all the behavior, that all the Mercury is not giving a good energy to you. When the Mercury was not in a good energy, that will give you the problem in your documents. If you see the people, when their Mercury's energy was good, they clearly arrange the documents. You can see very well, whoever the individual is. When you see they are documenting all kind of their steps, even for a small process, they document everything and they clearly organize. Their desk is higher. You can see whenever you see the desk of any people, you can easily understand. Okay, this is the Mercury. This is the Mercury person. Why? Because they're documenting everything. They organized very well, and if you ask any kind of the document, they will give you right away. They won't tell you, okay, I will give you next morning, next morning, next morning. They won't tell you like that. They will know where they placed and how to document, how to organize. They know very well about the documentation. So all kind of the document related stuff, any kind of the document. Documents means it comes under your land documents, your life related documents, whatever it is. It comes under the Mercury. So you keep that in mind. When you are combined together this kind of the Mercurian energy into your first house. Okay. The first represents the core of you that we understand already. That is your persona, that is your self, that is your self-image, your innate personality itself. So all together it is the first house. Now we are combined together. When that kind of a first house, when in this first house the Mercury was placed, what will happen? Nullifies all the ill effects of other malefic planets. Okay, whenever you see any of the malefic planets which is going to give any of the malefic aspect towards the lagna or the lagnadipati, it nullifies that ill effect. But this is also depends upon the other grahas placement. But at this moment, considered only for the lagna or the lagnadipati. Okay. Then these peoples are really intelligent. Okay, here comes an interesting thing. This intellectual personality means, I will give you one example. They're considered two persons. One person didn't study for anything, but they study for 1 or 2 days when considered they're having exam in a month. The one person will study for 2 days and they will going into an exam, written that exam clearly, clear that exam and come out with a good percentage. There is another person studying continuously till the end of the day, and next day is an exam. They go and write the exam, clear the exam. Both of them got the same percentage. Well, here is the interesting thing. The first person may have the Mercury in the first house because they no need to spend too much of energy into the studying part. Whenever their intellectual personality means wherever they want to study, wherever they want to put into mind into it, they shine very well. They know what to do when comes into an intellectual part, particularly when the Mercury in the Lagna, they know how to use their intelligence. That's why these people are intellectual personality. Plan for medical profession or servitude qualities is highly possible when comes into a Mercury in the Lagna. Okay. Expert in all kinds of on art and culture. This is again, you have to check your how is your third house, how is your knowledge houses 2, 4, 5, 9, 10, sorry, 11, 12, how it was going. You have to check all kind of this stuff. But when the Mercury in the first house, it will give you that kind of an energy saying that, okay, whichever you art you are going to do, whichever your culture you are entering into, there is a high chance, there is a high possibility to definitely become an expert. Even if you're going into a dance, even if you're going to paint anything, different kind of a painting altogether, which no one was taken into an account or no one was started that at. You are going to start a new painting, new design, new model, whatever it is. But when you are enter into that, definitely you become an expert. That's one point here. But this one point, definitely you have to check with the other grahas as well. These people will have the various type of the skills. Why when the Mercury was in the first Lagna itself, they definitely have number of the skills altogether. Why? Because their intellectual was it was represented in the first house. It means yourself itself, and the intelligent planet Mercury was in it. Then definitely you will have a different type of the skills. Okay. And okay, here okay. The independent thoughts, not gullible. Definitely, these people have the very intelligent, independent thoughts. Independent thought means everybody was having a public opinion. Like, okay, this is the world, this is the world will work. Okay, I believe in that. This is all the my community was believing. I'm going in that direction. They won't have that kind of the independent thoughts. But these people will have that kind of an independent thoughts. Why they are working in this way? I can't do this way. They have that kind of a different thought process altogether. Okay. The calm, quiet, polite, one may have, they may not calm, but they will be polite. But sometimes you feel like sometimes they are not polite, but they're calm all the time. They are calm and quiet. Uh, they want to do only the right thing. That kind of the persons you will see when the Mercury in the first house. Anybody will you know about Mercury in first house? Okay, one interesting thing. When Mercury was in the first house, when combined with another grahas, this is sometimes some kind. There is a all points may not be come together. There can be one point which will come yes, the another point will come as no. Depends upon the graha which is associated with it. and depends upon the aspect towards the lagna and also the lagnadipati where it was present. Okay, but
Yeah.
all together.
I have an example, Vanita, but in that case, Mercury is placed with Sun and Mars in Lagna.
Okay, let's see. Which lagna?
Kataka Lagna.
Okay, Mercury, Sun. Give me a second. Give me 1 second. Okay, Mercury, Sun and
Mars.
your lagna. Okay, here is the thing. Okay, now first, where is the moon?
Moon is in Pisces.
Now first see what is the lagna. Now lagna is the Kadaka Rasi. So we understand first is the Karka Rasi. So Lagnadipati which is in Pisces. So that is in the Meena Rasi. Okay, let's see about the Lagnadipati state first. So in the Lagna, we have the three grahas posited in it. One is Mercury, Sun, and the Mars. And here, let's see about the Lagnadipati first. Lagnadipati, which is in the Moon, the Rashi is in the Meena Rasi. So Moon in the Meena Rasi, Jupiter and the Moon are enemy of the friend.
Friend.
Friend only, right?
Yes,
No?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Yeah.
Okay. So now we considered, okay, the Lagnadipati was in the good position. Okay, let's moving into the next topic. Now we have to see the three grahas present in it: Mercury, Sun, and the Mars. Who is the owner here? Moon is the owner. The Moon is sitting in the good position. Now we have to see the relationship between the Moon and the Mercury, Moon and the Sun, Moon and the Mars. Moon and the Mars, how it will be?
Debilitated.
Very good friends, but debilitated.
But
Debilitated.
okay, this is a good point. Wait a second. Okay, Mars is debilitated. So take this one. Okay, the Mars is debilitated. This is altogether a different story. You will see that later. Okay, now Sun and the Moon, they are in a very good relationship, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yes. Now see the Moon and the Mercury. Here is an interesting thing. Moon and the Mercury. Moon was in the Mercury was sitting in the Moon house. Moon is friend to Mercury or not?
Yes, but
Moon is
other way
friend.
around is wrong. Mercury is not enemy to moon.
Yeah.
When the moon was sitting in the Mercury's house, it's not filled with that kind of the comfortness. But now consider the situation, it was the good one. Okay. Now altogether, now there was one line of a sentence stating the characteristic of this person. If it was tough, leave the Sun and the Mars altogether. Find out only the Mercury. Okay, before that, Mercury was the kind of the childish nature. Mercury's graha always wants to learn. You think as then Mercury as a young prince or princess always want to learn new things, want to stepping into the world. It was like a curious child. Okay. Sun is the matured administrative quality. Mars is the commander. Okay. When these three grahas, these three personalities sitting in the lagna itself, that means you have the administration, you have an authority, and you also have a childish kind of the stuff with intellect. You want to learn, you want to study, you want a growth in your every skill which you pursue. So that kind of a tendency with an administration quality, and you have an authority. These combined together in a lagna. Now Now you tell me which point will be matched for this Jataka.
But Mercury is sitting in Moon's house, which is an enemy. So there will be a problem with learning, basically education.
Okay,
No,
let's see
madam, the
that.
other way around.
No,
Okay, let's understand this.
Mercury's
Okay.
enemy is Moon, right?
Correct. Let's see this one. Moon is here. Mercury is here. Moon is Moon treat everybody. Moon won't treat anybody as an enemy. This is understandable, right? Moon
Yeah,
is
no enemies for Moon.
no enemies to the moon. Correct. And you are sitting in the house of the moon. The Mercury was placed in it. The moon treat the Mercury as an enemy or not?
No, moon will
No,
not
no.
treat.
Correct. Because the moon won't treat anybody as an enemy. Well,
Yeah.
whoever comes, it may be a neutral or friend. Who are the moon's friend? Sun and
Mars.
Mercury.
Mercury.
No, sun
Sun and
and
Mercury.
No?
Moon's friends are Sun and Mercury.
sun and Mercury.
Sun and Mercury. Because when the moon treating the Mercury as the friend, but when you see the Mercury treat the moon as the enemy, this is the contradict part, right? But when you are seeing in a placement of the houses, you have to see this is the owner. The owner won't consider anybody as an enemy. Then the Mercury was placed in that location. Is it clear now?
So that is why that enmity will not be there.
Hmm.
Okay, got it.
Okay, now tell me how it will be. Which point will match for this person? You can say whatever you want because you have 3 grahas present in it.
That calm quiet may not apply because Mars is there.
Mars won't shout, but Mars fear in it. There is the people who are in the even Mars in the first house also. They won't shout. They show their temperament in different ways. But this is the good point. When the Mars and Sun was combined together, there is a high possibility they may not be quiet. Definitely. Okay. Any other things?
They might not be humble also, right, Vanita?
Exactly. There is no possibility when the Sun
Because
was
Sun
present.
is there, so humbleness
When the
will
Sun was
vanish.
there, the humble and politeness, you forgot about that.
Ego is high.
Yeah, definitely the egos will flourish when the age was increased, their egos also increased. Okay, other thing?
Is it possibility of
What is
being
it?
an officer in the government or some good
Luckily.
position in a government, leadership position in the government
Yeah,
because of sun?
good leadership position. Even if it was
Sun.
not in a government also, the leadership position highly possible. Yeah.
But
Any other
with
thing?
sun, it might get government related, right? With sun.
What is that? But here the Mars was debilitated. Remember
Sun
that.
being in the same. Okay.
I couldn't hear your voice was breaking for me.
It is breaking, yeah.
It's breaking, right? What is that? Sun?
No, he said if Sun being in the first house, he says the person should have leadership position in the government.
Yeah, that's one.
Yes.
But he said another thing also. When the Sun in the first house, there is a possibility definitely that leadership quality will come. It may be lead you. It may be lead in government
Association with the government. Association with the government. Sun.
Right.
Government
There
job.
is a person. Yeah. Other things? Okay. And now let's check with whoever said this Jataka. How was how was this person?
Yeah, it's me, Saravanan. I gave
Wow.
this example.
Mm.
The point, all of the point that you mentioned were correct. Calm, quiet, those are not there. But generous, natured native.
Why the
Um,
generous nature? You know why? Because of the sun.
because of the sun. Yeah.
Because the
A lead-
sun is also ego, the sun is also adamant, the sun is also generous. Yeah. When they have something in their hand, they don't think, okay, you are good, you are my favorite person, you are not my favorite person. They won't think like that. Okay, whatever in their hand, they will give to whoever in front of them.
Suppose sun was not there here. We are talking about Mercury in the first house. So
Yeah.
Correct.
When the sun was
how will generous
okay. Okay, then when the sun was not here, we here in the Mercury, right? The Mercury's nature will come because here you are saying about the self. None of the graha was present. So all the benefits of that particular graha will be emitted from this Jataka itself. Okay, what are the good qualities of the Buddhan? The good quality of the Buddhan is a calm, quiet, polite, humble, generous also. The one of the good quality of the Buddhan is also generous because he was a child. You see, when you are going into ask any of the thing to the child, it won't give you any kind of the partiality, right? Not knowing the all intelligent kid nowadays, but in the earlier days, when you ask the kid will come you whatever in their hands. They won't value that much, even if you they value things in a different ways, right? But when it comes into the good qualities of the Buddhan, the generous is also one of the quality. Okay, now consider the scenario. When the Mercury was present, no other grahas was present, then all kind of the benefits will become. With that particular graha, whatever the good characteristics, particularly for the Buddhan, all kind of the good characteristics will come out immediately. That's why the generous rules come here. Is that okay?
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, let's finish this Jatakam first. Okay, then do you missed any other point? Okay, here the Mars
the
was
flyer for medical profession, that is not there.
because the Mars was debilitated, right?
Debilitated. Yeah.
Hmm.
And
Other points?
art and culture is also not there. But various type of skills, independent thought, all these are there.
Here the experts in all kinds of art and culture, right? It won't be suitable for everybody. The peoples who have the Mercury alone in the Lagna, they have the highest chance. They have the ultimately highest chance when only the Mercury was present. Even when the Mercury Venus was combined also, this 1 point won't come. Remember that. That moment also, they have the expertise in something. But the art and culture, when the Mercury was alone in the Lagna, then this is the good point. This will come. Okay, any kind of the medical profession, see how your Mars is. If your Mars was not in a good position, forget about the medical, it won't come. Even if when you see about, okay, I will give you one interesting point. When your Mars was not in a good position, even if the people's around, the entire family members was pushing you, okay, you getting into the medical profession, you go and ask that Jataka, are you interested in the medical profession? If the Mars was not in a good position, this person will say definitely no. But when the Mars was in a good position, knowingly or unknowingly, with any people, other people's guidance also, when the Mars was in a good position, it leads that particular person into the medical profession, even though they are not interested. They will say the n number of reasons. I'm not from a good background and I'm not interested this, that and all. But when the Mars was in a good position and that exactly representing these people definitely getting into the medical, no matter what, they will enter into the medical. Because that Mars energy will lead you into that kind of a situation.
One thing that I noticed in this case is Mars being debilitated. This person is ignorant about any medical suggestions. So that actually passes through the brain.
Pass through the?
No, it doesn't get registered. Whatever recommendation or any, they don't tend to accept it.
Yeah. There is a high possibility. But if if you go and check the people who if you see the doctor in one family, you will see the continuously in their next generations also the number of the doctors will form. But if you go and check the Jatagam, they have the good strong Mars in it. Okay, there was also one more thing. When it comes into speaking about the Lagna, I will tell you this also. Whichever graha in your Lagna, you will have the different kind of compassionate towards them, whichever graha in it. Okay, when you ask this person may kind towards kids because the Mars is not good. This person may kind towards his father. Yes or no? Or
True, very true.
the compassion towards them is very much high. Very much high means they die to do anything for them. Okay, now compare against your Jataka, whichever the Lagna you are in, and whatever the Graha which is placed, you see, you definitely have the compassion to them. Whatever it is, even if you have anybody give any of an example with whatever your Lagna and along with that Graha.
Okay, if nobody is saying, then I can say mine is Kanya Lagna and my Mars is Simha.
Wait a second. Kanya Lagna.
Mars is in Simha.
No. What is your Lagna? Lagna, any graha?
No, nothing.
You don't have any graha. Where is the Mercury?
Mercury is in 11th house in Kataka.
Mercury is in the 11th house. Okay, this
Mercury,
is
Sun, Saturn, Venus.
Okay, in which way you show your compassion? I mean, like for this, I may die for it.
Nothing. I never express anything. I have zero expression.
That shows in your Lagna. Okay, anybody tell which is your anybody you have the Lagna, any graha, at least one graha.
I'm Satish. My Lagna is Midana Lagna.
Mithuna Lagna, okay. Any
And Moon is there and Jupiter is there.
Okay, now this is your answer. Okay, this is my question. Okay, he is
very expressive.
No. Come into the relation. He's
Relation, okay.
having a love towards compassion towards two people. Who are they?
Mother and Guru.
Yes or no? Satish
Yeah,
only tell, right?
yeah, very much.
Yeah, he will do anything for them. Whatever the mother says, whatever the Guru says, God says, he do. If they say you go and die, they will definitely die. That kind of the person, because when whichever graha in your Lagna, your love towards them is unparalleled. No one can judge. Okay, check your Lagna and the graha. If
But
this
yeah,
is
I
the
want
true
to
for you,
ask one question. This is the Mercury's house and Moon is there. So will there be camaraderie between mother and the native?
Okay, wait a second. Let's see.
Excellent
Your
question.
Lagna, Mercury was the house where the
House, a lot of those, yeah.
Mercury is the lord of the house. Moon was placed in it. Now Mercury considered Moon as the enemy. Okay, here one rules will be negate this one. When the graha was placed in your Lagna, this kind of the negation you no need to consider.
Oh.
That's why you definitely you have the love towards your mother will be there. But when comes into here, when the two grahas was placed in it, Moon and the Guru, it will also be represented in your physical appearance. You may be beautiful, handsome. You have the wisdom quality. Your skin may be fair in nature. Somebody wants to look at your face all the time. Like that, your physical appearance will be. So
yes, Satish is definitely wise. That I can tell you.
I see. Okay, here, see. We have the confirmation also. So that kind of when the lagnas and grahas was present in it, it will definitely represent. You can't negate that. You check and see number of the jatakas. That's why whenever you see the any of the horoscope, you have to see the lagna, lagnadipati, any of the grahas aspecting or how the lagna was aspecting other grahas, you have to understand at first, then moving into the Rashi Adhipati.
But I want to add one more point. But after I got married and say 10 years into marriage, a slight differences started happening between me and my mother. I don't know why.
Oh, then you have to see about the Venus and how, which is seventh house, right? Okay. This is one more thing. This is not a written rules, but number of the Jatakas, when you see and find out the peoples who have the Karna Rasis people, they have some kind of the marital issues. Okay, I will tell you that reason. Here, this is your seventh house, right? This Raj, the Lagna is the Upaya Rashi. Okay, then you have to understand, then you have to see your wife's horoscope also. Okay. Whenever you have the different conflict, that is your pain point also, but that is the one when you see in the point of view of the learning Jataka. I don't want to say this, but that is a good time to study about the horoscope very well. I totally understand that is a pain point in your life, but when you compare the two Jatakam, your wives and you will easily understand why this contradiction was happening. Okay, now let's see about here. When the seventh house was here, this is Upaya Rasi. Okay, what is the Patakasthana for the Upaya Rasi? Forgot?
Seventh only, right?
Seventh house. Okay, all the Upaya Rasi, seventh house is the Patakara. Patak house is the seventh house is the Patak. Pataka house is the Patakasthana is the seventh house. If you see all the corner houses, seventh house, who's the seventh house? Your spouse only. Your spouse, your partners, if you are involved in a business, your business partners, whichever you consider your partner, it comes under the seventh house. That becomes your obstacle. That becomes your struggle in your life.
Challenging house.
When this kind of the challenges will come in, then you have to figure out how this is the life learning you are going to learn, right? When that was my obstacle, I understand, okay, this is my obstacle, this is my struggle, this is my challenge. How will you overcome? Here comes your knowledge. Here comes your whatever the experience you gained in your previous years, you have to use that here. But most of the Upaya Rasi, they definitely have this kind of the problem with their spouse. Okay, first thing, you have, before you coming into the conclusion, see your wife Jatakam also. Consider a situation, your wife is also having any kind of the Karna Rashis, like Meena, Kanya, and the Tanush.
No.
Obviously, his obstacle is also you. Because the seventh house again a spouse, and for her, the spouse is the challenging part in her life. So
but she's a Tula Lagna.
Oh, then that's too easy for you. Your life becomes very much easy. But when, okay, oh my God. Can I go out of the topic for 2 minutes? Is that okay?
So one
Sure.
second, Vanita. Corner houses, the Lagna has to be in corner houses, only then issue, right?
Of course.
Lagna,
Okay,
Lagna,
got it.
correct.
Okay,
Or
thank
else you will remember like this. All the Upaya Rasis, if you have the Upaya Rasi, seventh house is your Bhatakasthana. Obviously, your life partner will be the struggle for you.
Got it.
Okay,
Thank
we'll go out of the topic for 2 minutes, then we'll come back here. Give me a second. Okay, for him, the seventh house is the Bhatakasthana. For his wife, Tula Lagna. Okay. Second house and the seventh house. You remember where is your wife Mars was placed in it?
I think it's a second house.
Mars in the second house.
Yeah.
Okay. Mars was in the second house, but for the Tula Lagna, the 11th house is the Bhatakasthana. Where the sun was?
1 minute. Sun is in Gemini.
Sun is in your Lagna. Your Lagna, your sun, correct?
My wife's sun is in Lagna. Yeah, my Lagna.
I mean, in your horoscope,
My
You
horoscope, it's in
Mithuna is
Mithuna is my Lagna, and my sun is in Scorpio. Sixth
okay.
house, sixth house.
So for your wife, your son was in your Lagna, right? Okay, there was
Yes.
another kind of the topic when I had the time, I will tell you how you can compare two Jadakam. But when you compare this one, the Sakti, the domination about in the speech for her, it was I would say she can conquer you by her speech. Is that correct or no?
At
If there
times,
was
definitely. At times, most of the times.
Yeah, if there was an argument was happening at home, she will definitely conquer. Yes or no?
It's not like that. I dominate at times, and I mean, say 60% of the time she dominates because I just keep quiet. I don't want to keep on arguing. So that's why I just keep quiet.
There was the Mars energy was in the second house. The Mars when the Mars energy was in second house means they emit that kind of that energy in their family itself. Okay. Now this is your good time for study your wife horoscope. When the Lagna people, these people won't hold their anger very long time. This Chararasi, they won't hold that anger for a very long time. Even they burst out, they will settle down very easily. But if for you can't ask if you can ask your wife to do anything, ask her to meditate. That is the best choice for her. Particularly if there is a time for her, ask her to hear the Aditya Hridayam or anything towards the sun. That will settle down her mind, particularly when the sun was in the 9th house, right? I'm wrong? Yeah, 9th house.
Yeah,
The sun was in a very good place. When the sun was in a very good place, definitely she will have that kind of an authority. That too in her Trikona houses. When that was happening, even if she tried to control also, the authority will come out.
Okay.
That is for her. But when comes into you, because the 7th house is your Bhatakasthana, and you have any kind of the favorite guru in your life?
I think it was the school and one college. Now nobody's there. I think they passed away.
Is there anybody you worship very well? You feel that okay, I can follow the step, like anybody?
No, I was having the old SIVA, but I'm not following anything. I'm still not so much passion on that.
You worship?
Siddhi Sai Baba.
Okay.
I just think about him in the mind. That's it.
Okay. There is a small trick here. So whenever you have the kind of an argument, whenever there kind of something burning in your home, what you can think, one point in time you get that guru's energy for a while, and you will find a solution for that. Any kind of a situation, even if there was a heat argument was going on your home, think about your guru for 1 or 2 minutes. You will coming into a conclusion. Okay, this argument may not lead into anything, and this is not at a good point. We come into any kind of a solution.
Okay.
But when the 7th house is the Bhatakasthana and your Lagna was telling moon and the guru, you have the compassionate about it and go towards and get the help from your guru. Or if you believe that any kind of the Amman, it was not like the woman, the Amman should not be fully decorated. When comes into the moon, okay, let's leave about all these things. Get a guru's energy. That will be great helpful.
Okay.
When there was let's do as an experiment. When there was a next argument was coming, think about your guru for at least 2-3 minutes.
Okay.
Let the argument was going on, and you will find a solution.
Okay.
But this is the tough. When there was something painful and happening in your life and you were struggling with it, you may not able to remember that. That is quite difficult. But if you're able to achieve that, and that 2 minutes of the prayer or 2 minutes of the thought about them will give you the energy. You centered yourself in your body. Then you may ask you why I need to think about them. See, when there was an argument was happening, your entire nadi system, your entire energy, your entire body will be at least burst out for a while. Your blood flow will
Yes.
be high. You may
Yeah.
think like your nerves will be expand or shrink, whatever it is happening in your body. But that moment when you think about your guru, which you are really passionate about, your body becomes centered. Your body temperature will become centered. Your your temperature become normal. And when your entire body system comes into center point, whatever the decision you're making, it will be good.
Okay.
That's why I ask you to think about your guru at least for 1 or 2 minutes. Then everything will
Okay.
be settled. Do this experiment and tell us also, is that
I
favors you?
normally think about my favorite god, Varahi Amman, during any
More than
argument.
enough. That's
Any
more.
argument I have, even with outsiders, I think about her, and normally it goes off very well.
Yeah, that's a solution. Once you grab hold of that frequency, once you remember that Varaki for a while, and that's it, more than enough. The solution will come, or at least it will solve on its own.
Yes, that happens normally, most of the time.
Yeah, most of the time it will happen. Yeah.
And my seventh house has Mars in it. I think you would have been aware. 2-3 sessions back, I had told when we were talking about Mars, I told my seventh is in Mars, and Jupiter aspects Mars, and it was helping me a lot.
Yeah, that's quite awesome. Whenever there was a time permits, we'll do about this. Couples are any of the family members, two of them.
Yeah, sure.
We combine it together and see.
Hmm.
Okay. We'll see the second house, or we'll end the class now.
It's already 3:48.
Okay, we'll end the class now. We'll continue the class from the second house from next week. Is that okay?
Sure.
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 Okay then.
Okay.
Good evening.
Thank you
Bye
so
then.
much.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank you
Mike.
very much.
I think sorry I took most of the time.
No, Satish,
It
thank
was
you.
good.
Really helpful.
Good.
Okay.
Good.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you.
Malika.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.